I got tons of soul, I'm a true collectible. Famous, so famous, number one, desirable. I do what I want, when I want, and how I want it. Leave you with the one in the air, that's how I roll. I got tons of soul, I'm a true collectible. Famous, so famous, number one, desirable. I do what I want, when I want, and how I want it. Leave you with the one in the air, that's how I roll. I got changes, so I don't care about no gold. Better, so much better, flipping incredible. Always on the show, so they know that I still got it. And I never feel sorry, yeah, top of the world. Top of the world. Yeah, top of the world. Top of the world. Yeah, top of the world.
Untamed Publishing has partnered with Katie Creatives to present to you UP pre-made book covers. With over 200 covers to choose from, we're sure you'll find exactly what you need to fit your author needs. Just visit www.untamedpublishing.net.
And now, here is your host.
Hello, 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 and welcome to this episode of Writer Wednesday, where I will be offering tips to aspiring, new, and seasoned authors about all aspects of the literary world. We are presented by Untamed Publishing. Allow us to help you unlock your unlimited writing potential. If you are an aspiring, new, or seasoned author, head over to www.untamedpublishing.net for a variety of services to assist you on your publishing journey. On this episode, you can see me, and I also have a guest. I'm so excited about this. So, I'm always about not just coming to you about tips for writing, but I also want to help you as an author, but not just authors, creatives, period, on the business side of being an author, being a book blogger, being a content creator, because, this do turn into a business and sometimes you don't know what you need to do. But today, I have someone here to help us on this. So this will be a 4-part segment, and it is called Pen to Profit, Financial Mastery for Creative Entrepreneurs. Okay. Now, like I said, this is for creatives. Let's go ahead and get this started. But first, let me tell you about my special guest, who I'm excited to be here with us. Okay. Her name is Miss Quintaria Brunson. So let's talk about her. Quintaria Brunson isn't just an expert. She's a newsmaker. Featured on Fox News Radio, Bounce TV, and iHeartRadio, Quintaria has carved out a reputation as a leading authority in her field. Her prowess is evident from her extraordinary achievements, like soaring into the top 15% of agents nationwide and spearheaded a whopping 210% growth in her business's client base via personal referrals in under a year. At the heart of Quintaria's success, the Brunson approach is a unique blend of strategic problem solving and groundbreaking solutions. This isn't just about business, it's about reinvention. Quintaria turns inefficiencies into profitable ventures, assisting clients in every stage of their business journey, from inception and scaling to a successful sale, all with the goal of securing financial freedom for them and their future generations. With over 16 years of hands-on experience, Quintaria isn't just a strategic. She isn't just a strategist. She's a seasoned entrepreneur. Her ventures like Faith and Fashion Week, yes, y'all don't even know the half, and Design Life are testaments to her ability to blend creativity with strategic thinking. Design Life stands out as a beacon of innovation, creating family-friendly, cutting-edge events while offering strategic program development for a diverse clientele. Quintaria's real forte, helping individuals leave a lasting legacy through savvy business and real estate investments. She's not just advising, she's architecting futures. Her tailored wealth plans aren't just strategies, they're blueprints for a prosperous and financially secure future. Above all, Quintaria Brunson is synonymous with excellence. Her commitment isn't just to her work, it's to your dreams. Partner with Quintaria and embark on a journey to turn your aspirations into tangible realities. Thank you so much, Quintaria, for joining us today. How are
Thank
you?
you for having me. And sitting here, it took everything for me not to blush like a 6-year-old whose mom was telling all of us, and she made the honor roll, and she know how to tie her shoes. And so thank you, thank you, thank you for this opportunity. I'm excited to dig in today because creatives and authors and people, bloggers, that this space and this industry leaves so much money on the table, and
Yes.
you don't have to. I think that, so I'm really excited to dig in and to be a resource, and to share resources for your base.
Thank you so much. And I so agree with that because me as a blogger, I went ahead and LLC myself as a blogger. So my company is My Love of Books LLC, which was my very first blogger name, but it's as a publishing company. And I can already say I have one client, which is myself as an author. So, and to be honest, Miss Quintaria Brunson is the one who has helped me start this, and she's been guiding me. And like I said, I wanted to share what she shared with me with the masses, okay? Because now she's ready to take me to another level. I'm like, I'm ready. I'm scared, but I know with her
Well,
support, I'll
you're
be able
taking
to get through this.
yourself to the levels. What I do, we all specialize in something. I always
Yes,
say when I'm coaching or when I'm invited to speak in certain places, I always say, like the challenge is we're good at so much, but you
right.
got to find your superpower, like where you put your hero's cape on, and that is what you do and what you do well. So I am good at a lot of things, but my superpower is strategy. So it's you are at the place that you're hitting certain ceilings. You've already, you've done this for a few years. My job is just to show you how to put a strategy behind this to make it a machine, because I truly believe that we are here to make money doing what we love. You just need to, like I said, have the resources and all of that. But we can dig more into it whenever. But it's you. I'm just here. I'm like the tour guide saying, and if you look to the left, you'll find a business corporation. If you look to the right, you'll find how to properly file your taxes. You are the person on the journey. And like I said, creatives tend to leave so much money on the table. I am super excited to share ways that they can understand and know that they are a business. We all are, a new
We-
baby business. It's,
Yes,
in
that is
America,
true.
you just have to know that and walk in that. And I'm excited to share tips on how to do that.
All right, so let's get into this. So, like I said, this is going to be a 4-part segment, and it is called the Pen to Profit Financial Mastery for Creative Entrepreneurs. But on this episode, we will be balancing books and budgets, the financial fundamentals to authors. Now, like I said, it's saying authors, but we're going to say creators, because as a book blogger, if you're getting paid out here to do certain things, you need to know how to balance your books. Okay.
And if
So
you're
let me
not
just give
getting paid, you need to know how to get paid.
that part too.
Yep,
Yes.
yep.
Okay, so let me give you a little description of this episode. So, this episode will address the financial basics every author and creative professional should know. Quintaria discusses budgeting, managing irregular income. And that was my question because I definitely want to know, what is irregular income? Okay, the essential financial planning techniques tailored for the unpredictable nature of creative professions. Okay, so that was my first question. Explain to myself, but others as well, what is irregular income?
Well, can I take a step back first before we
Yes,
get into
yes.
regular income? First, the number one thing I want creatives to understand is that you are a business. When you are a writer, a painter, a blogger, an influencer, you are a business in any, so that's the first thing that people need to understand. So when you know, and you're when you realize, because it, for people who are considering, getting into the industry, and even for people who are already in it, you've got to switch your mindset to know that you are a business, period. So that's the number one thing, because if you just see yourself as a blogger, or you just see yourself as an author, you're not going to even tackle certain things. And not that you personally have to handle the business side, but just knowing that you're a business, it almost puts this level of responsibility that you have a little more to do than just to write a book and that's that. So first I want to
Right,
say that. So being that there are different types of businesses. So for many people, they open a store, and it's, you can kind of see more clearly, because it's a little more familiar where the business part is. When it comes to irregular streams of income, it's almost like Uber drivers or freelance work. When you are getting money, or you have the potential to earn money outside of going into a 9 to 5 job and receiving income. For creatives, if things like hosting classes, understanding your royalties are huge
right,
in that, understanding serial payments under, so there are, I'll say this, for the most part, primarily, there's always an exception to every rule, but the majority of the income that creatives receives is irregular income. But if you put your cap on that you are a business and you set up a business plan, I think that one of the things for my company, the Brunson approach, we're a financial strategy firm for entrepreneurs, right? And we
yeah,
always talk about exit strategies. So if you are new to the business, if you've written your first book, or you're on your 21st book, what is your exit strategy? Meaning that, like, do you want to write into retirement? Are you looking to write until you hit a certain dollar amount? Like I want to write enough books, or one uh, uh, compelling book that will get me $2 million, and with that $2 million, I will da. But again, if you don't have that business mindset on that, I am a business, you're not thinking that way, and you just miss a lot of opportunities. One thing that I really want to point out, I wasn't even considering this when we came on, but it's very important, is your intellectual property. A lot of people who may self-publish, or even if you go to a more mainstream market with your writing or with your works, it's so many levels that you can be paid on. I don't want to equate it to the music industry, but it's popping up in my head how when someone when a song is on the radio, they're
hmm,
publishing payments. There's payments to the writer, there's payments to the composer, there's payments to the person who arranged it. Those same aspects are in the creative community for those who write,
right,
so just know that if a concept came from your brain and you put it, you know uh, um, manipulated that so that it can go to the masses, there are typically multiple ways that you can receive payment on that. And I just don't, like I said, creatives leave so much money on the table by just not understanding or not knowing how to scale, and not even understanding that although it's so natural for you to write or to paint or to blog, that those are definitely income stream possibilities that we need to explore. So I hope that
I
kind of
like that. No, and as you were saying that, some things were popping in my head. Because just recently the authors, there's a pirate site that has taken a lot of the authors' books and are giving them to people for free. So all they have to do is just download it and they get the entire book for free.
and see
So that,
that's
yeah,
that's where being a business, protecting your intellectual property, copywriting, trademarking, all of the even, and oftentimes many business owners will assume that things are so expensive. And I'm not going to say that things don't have a price to it, but there are ways that you can protect your material that are not super expensive, especially now. You have LegalZoom, and it's other ways that you can protect your content. And if you don't protect your content, you leave yourself subject to other people doing, like what you say, giving your content away for free. But even beyond that, when you say that, when you say first and foremost you're a business, businesses have levels of liability that you need to protect yourself from. So
right,
the good side of being a business is the potential income that you can earn, but there are definitely other responsibilities that come along with it that are not so good. You could get cease and desist. Someone could say that you took their content or their information. So you need to protect yourself on that end as well. And if you're not thinking that I am a business, or this, what I am creating is a business, that's even more on a broader scale. That's truly what it is. The work and that's why you can get paid for it and protect it and copyright it, because the work is coming from you, but it's its own entity. But
right.
we'll get into that a little down the line on how because like you could be a sole proprietor, an LLC, an S corp. You can, but just know that there are multiple ways that you can protect the content that you create, and you can be in charge of the money that you generate from it.
And that is true. So I want to go back to a part when you said an exit strategy. Now, a lot of people don't think they need an exit strategy, but that is something that is very important. So as an author, you stated that having an exit strategy, you want to know, what are you going to do? How long are you going to be doing this? Is that something that should be brought up in the very beginning when they're deciding their business, before they even start their business? Should they say, oh, I should have a exit strategy as well and see how long I want to do this?
I don't know how if this is kid friendly or not, but hell
It's not.
yeah.
Yeah,
You need to start first and foremost. If you are living and breathing, you need an exit strategy,
that
because
is true.
what's the saying? If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So
Yes.
you need to know what your goals are in life. Because I was just speaking specifically to your life in the business or the creative space or the
Right.
segment of your life. But when do you want to retire? It amazes me how many people are truly just like minions, and you just go by whatever the general population. Oh, 65 is when you're supposed to retire. Oh,
Nope.
21 is when you're supposed to do this. And it is your life. So hell yeah, you should have an exit strategy as soon as you are aware or cognizant enough to understand that it is my life and I have to empower myself and I have to know what I want. And everyone's exit strategy will look different. There are other people who are in the financial space and our exit strategies look totally different. But I know when I want to retire. I have a 20-year plan that I'm about 8 years
Sure do.
in, and I know what I want my life to look like. if you don't know what your goals are and the trajectory that you're going, ultimately you can end up anywhere. And
Right.
like, so yes, you need to start with an exit strategy for your life. I am very big on my community and supporting African Americans in particular with building wealth and wealth generation. And one of the number one issues is that no one planned. No one. I have a 100-year legacy plan for my family. So descendants of me, from me, my grandchildren's grandchildren, whom I will probably never meet unless, they come up with, some medical miracle, that will allow me to live to 200 years old. But long story short, I'm thinking 100 years from now, what can I have in position for them? What can I leave for them? And maybe that is not a part of your legacy or what you desire to do. You're not thinking 100 years out, but you should at least understand and know and project what you want for your life. So
Yes.
I want to encourage everyone. Yes, you need an exit strategy. And one of the things I have encountered is that sometimes when I say exit strategy, because we're creative and our business is our baby, and people get a little on the defensive side, like exit, like, like I haven't even started, or I'm not where I want to. But
That's why I asked that question.
don't you don't want to look at it in a negative light. When you start with the end in mind, you can reverse engineer the life that you want. Period. When you hop on a plane, I'm assuming that most people have been on planes. Your pilot doesn't get up in the air and then start figuring out how to make it to San Diego.
Right. He has a plan.
Before you even book your flight, when you go on there to see what flights are available, they already have the flight plans ready, and all, when they're landing, if there's a layover and all of that. We need to be that intentional with our lives, and especially creatives, because going back to my example about if a business owner owns a store, it's pretty finite what they can do or what they could charge for. It's some flexibility there, but creatives, it is infinite what you can make money on. It is infinite.
Yes.
What you can, because it's mainly your intellectual content. It's mainly things, your original content that you're creating. And that'll be part of another portion of this series, but it is infinite what you can put together to earn as a creative. So we don't want to lose that. But yes, as you can see, I'm serious about legacy, very serious about exit strategies, because we should plan our life. We should plan what we want our lives, our destiny, and our businesses to look like.
That is true. Now, since we talked about the exit strategy, I know we talked about covering budget and financial planning. So let's go into the financial planning piece, because I feel like the exit strategy falls into both, because in that way you'll know how to budget it, and then also the financial planning. So how important is financial planning for your business?
Financial planning is very important for your business. Going back to some of the concepts that I just mentioned, knowing where you're going and knowing where you are. So like I mentioned before, one, every creative needs a business plan. Even if you just plug in, if you Google business plan template at the Brunson Approach, my firm, we have sample business plans if you'd like to, if you need support in that. But you should have a business plan, you should have a budget, and you should monitor how much you spend and how much you bring in. I don't care if it's on a napkin from Cheesecake Factory, because I still eat it, unlike some people I heard online. But hopefully it's not that basic. But quite frankly, even if it is on a napkin from the Cheesecake Factory, if you don't know where you are and what is happening in your business, you can't project. You can't qualify for loans. It's harder to to procure partnerships, so all of this vast and infinite array of income opportunities, they get smaller and smaller when you are not set up and in position to get it. One of the things that my company does, and I've spoken to you personally about it, is government contracting and government. Authors and creatives have it. I'm going to be very honest. It's not that the states need as many creatives as they do general contractors to build schools and roads, but there are I've sent you several opportunities. There are real opportunities where you can get thousands to hundreds of thousands of dollars to get a government contract to edit certain text. Let's say
enrichment programs for children for helping with reading. So yeah, we talked about that.
On and on. But you don't even qualify if you don't have a business in place. So that goes to again, streams of income that you are missing out on because you don't have your business in place. So a basic budget. So again, like I said, start with the business plan, and business plans are fluid. They will change, month after month, year after year, for sure. But you at least start with a game plan, which is your business plan. From your business plan, you have your projections on what you'd like to earn, how many people you'd like to sell your books to, and things of that nature. And then your budget allows you to see or to schedule how are you self-publishing, how much, what royalties you expect to come in. So that's almost like a set in stone for a period of time expectation of what your money will do. And then we have your day-to-day bookkeeping. So you can actually see at any given point in time, how much did I actually make? I know my budget said that we would spend $1,000 this year on marketing, but what does my bank statement say? Yeah. And that, even with having a business, one of the things that I always talk to people about, like Gmail is a no-no, having a business bank account is something that you need to do, put layers of protection between you and your content. Putting layers of protection between you and the content you create also, one, protects you personally, but two, it puts your content and the material and the what you're creating and the content that you will be selling, or it puts it in position to earn more when you set it up properly.
And I love that because basically, like you said, budgeting and financial is definitely big, because me as a blogger, with me buying books, I don't have no budget. I can't even imagine how much I spend on books.
And you should know that. You should, and I should know that. Yes, you can write it off. Look, I'm so passionate about what I do in the and being a financial strategist. But one of the reasons why I love what I do is because I understand the tax code and so initially we were talking about creatives leaving money on the table because they're not capitalizing on all the ways they can create revenue, right? Then they leave money on the table because they don't know how to write anything off, or they can't write it off because they don't have a business. We don't want to leave money on this table or that table. We want all the money, as much as we legally can have, on our table so that we can feed our family today. And if that is your desire, to prepare for your future family in the future.
That is true. Now, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we are going to talk about navigating taxes and the financial compliance as a self-employed creative, because them taxes, like I tell people all the time, is 3 letters I don't mess with, and that's I, R, and S. Okay, so we'll be back.
Don't that feel good, y'all? This one gonna feel good to you. I just slip into a fucking welcome dress, heels to match, cup to breast, cocoa butter on my body, bet that ass will do the rest, body or behind my ear. I know where he.
Hey Untamables, it's Kiana Dene, poet and author. Just wanted to stop by and ask, have any of you read any of my poetry lately? If not, you can pick up my books on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, anywhere else you get your books, and of course my website at kianadene.wordpress.com. Now back to the show.
Alrighty, and we are back, and we are talking to Quintaria Brunson, and we are in our very first episode in our four-part segment strategy. I'm sorry, four-part. Lord Jesus, I just lost my train of thought, people. Y'all know how I get sometimes. Sorry about that. But we're in episode 1 of our four-part segment, Pin to Profit, Financial Mastery for Creative Entrepreneurs. And today we are talking about balancing books and budgets for financial fundamentals for authors. Now, we have talked about, irregular income, budgeting, financial planning, exit strategies, and how important it is to have an exit strategy. I know it sounds like, dang, I just started the business, but no, you need to know how you're going to end it. Are you going to be doing this forever? Just like we don't want to work forever. Do you want to work for yourself forever? Do you want to make enough where you can just sit back on the beach and read those books that you wrote?
Even
or look at that.
Does it have franchise potential?
Yes.
You have licensing components in your work that you can, like your exit strategy, like I said, allows you to forecast what you want and reverse engineer it so that it can come true.
That's true. And I love that. And like I said, we talked about the financial planning piece, the budgeting, how important it is to have your financial plan in place, how important it is to have a budget and to pay attention to your budget. Like I stated, I spend so much money on books. I don't know. But Quintaria said I need to know. And you know what? That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and put me a spreadsheet together, say January, books I bought. Ooh, that's going to be hard because I just be like, one click, one click, one click. I'm gonna work on that. I'm definitely gonna work on that.
It's recorded somewhere.
Yes, and like I said, I do it with the books. I do it with the audibles. That's just what I do. So now we're gonna talk about navigating taxes and financial compliance as a self-employed creative. How important is this?
It's of the utmost importance. It's very important as we understand. As a creative, you are a business, and but knowing that how you set that business up can vary. You can be a sole proprietorship, meaning that you are claiming that that you do the work, and you, as a tax-paying individual, will just handle it under your own Social Security number. You can create an LLC, which is provides a limited capacity of protection and a bridge, a shield between that separates you as a person or an individual versus the content or the business that you have. There are S corps, C corps, limited partnerships, but first and foremost, I would advise everyone to get information or to attend a session, talk to an accountant just to understand the guidelines for self-employment, for self-employed individuals and small businesses. Because if you have not decided on the legal structure that you want your business to take, it would be, because even if you're already in business or you've already written books, it's never too late to put that line where it's like, okay, I've been doing this for 8 years, but on year 9, I'm officially making it a business. So wherever you are in this, whether you are considering getting into the industry, or you're already in the industry, find out more about, like I said, just the basic structures of business and the guidelines and the obligations for being self-employed. Then you'll want to consider tax obligations. So the obligations of an LLC differ from the obligations of a corporation. Some things are similar, but there are some slight differences. And let me say this, because I know sometimes when I get into the weed, I live and breathe this. This is what I do. This is what my company does. And this is like when I started the conversation saying we need to find our superpower. I've got my cape on right now. Like, this is what
Right.
I love to do. But if this is too much for you, at least understand the basics. At least, at least, and there are books out there, audio books that you can listen to, but just to understand the simple basics and hire a professional or consult with a professional. My team and I, we have the Pen to Profit master class that we'll be offering, it should be in April or May, but we'll have the exact details for you soon, but we'll offer that so that you can get more information so that you can just understand. But knowing the tax obligations based on the entity that you've picked is very important as well too. Even if a professional is doing your taxes for you, you still need to understand on a baseline what that means, because you are the business owner, right?
Right.
Understanding your deductions and credits. So there are some credits that are available to self-employed creatives, such as your home office space. I am in a home office right now, and this entire space, because I use it for business, is a tax deduction. Certain equipment is a tax deduction. Certain supplies, all of those, like the books that you buy, all of those things can be tax deductions, which goes back to, like we said before, the importance of record keeping. And record keeping would be the next thing that I would stress. It is so important for you to keep meticulous records of what comes in and what goes out. One, because you don't want to leave money on the table. Like I said, even if you are very if you're really savvy with like, I know how to make money. I got ebooks, on books, elemental P books, like you bringing in money from everywhere. But if you're not meticulous in your record keeping, you may be paying more in taxes than you should, or you may not be paying enough and have a potential liability down the road that will come that could have been avoidable. Are you paying your quarterly sales tax, and things of that nature? So, but another important thing with proper record keeping is that after 12 months, I don't remember how much I paid on paper, or
Right.
so
That's so true.
yeah, it's just helpful to keep meticulous records, so that you can keep yourself in the best position. And like I said, you are business owners. You can do much of this yourself, but for the most part, and this is no insult to creatives. I love, creatives. I appreciate the value that creatives add to our world. But typically, if your mindset or how your brain works is more creative, the things that I'm talking about don't necessarily come natural to you. You will
That's true.
do what you can, but in that exit strategy, in that business plan, let's come up with ways that you can put the professionals in place to keep the business running appropriately, so that you can do what you do and create the content that will make more money to pay for the proper support in order to get this off the ground. But if you're not there yet, you're not excused just because you don't know. Like, not knowing, I have done hundreds of audits for companies and small business owners, and I would say 80 to 90%, have we didn't know. Well, we don't care. Like,
right, and neither does the IRS.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what I'm saying. It doesn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter that you don't know, and I think that a lot of people get away with a lot, but the industry of self-employment and how the government deals with self-employed is changing. They're at never, I've been doing this 20 years now, and we were not required to report so much, all of these online payment things were not reporting on your behalf. So they are tracking more. So just because you've done it for 10 years or 5 years and it hasn't been a problem, you don't want to risk being unable to create in the future because you crossed your fingers and hoped that our favorite uncle would not catch up with you, or that we live in a very litigious society, that someone wouldn't sue you and now they can come after your personal home because you don't have an LLC to separate your business from you, and they see your name or your pseudo name and they Googled you and found out that you own a $350,000 home, and that, I don't want to speak negatively, but this is real life. I've seen it happen. I've had to help people out of it. So not knowing is no longer an excuse. You have platforms like this where we're discussing it, and I'm so excited that we'll be getting more into we'll be giving you more information over the series. But not knowing is no longer an excuse.
No, it's not. Especially like you said, when you can find people to do it for you, you can get books, you can do audibles, definitely. And that's something, if you need those books, you can write those off. You need that audible to help your business. You can write those off. Now, you said getting an accountant, and I did like the part that you said getting an accountant, but also needing to know, because not saying like I know people, but I'm a TV watcher, you guys. And, you see on those TV shows how accountants have ripped people off, and, because they feel, oh, well, they don't know what's going on. They bringing in all this money. They won't miss it. They don't know what's going on. So I love the fact that you said to make sure that even though you have an accountant, still know what that accountant is talking about. Now, financial compliance.
To this, I'm sorry, and this may be a part of financial compliance too, but
okay.
I have a degree in accounting. That's for my past, I did lots of audits and things of that nature. So I don't say this to speak negatively about accountants and CPAs, but I must say this. You need a strategist such as myself, like a financial strategist, a business coach, but you need to go to your accountant with a plan. Accountants and CPAs are not business planners. They're not financial strategists. They I don't want to say bean counters, but they are crossing T's and dotting I's. They are making sure that your money is accounted for appropriately, and that is not strategy. So either one, you come up with your strategy, or you hire someone to help you come up with it. But that's where people go wrong. They put more on their accountants than what their accountants actually can do. And many accountants will just, take it on because it does kind of quasi fall into what they're responsible for. But an accountant does your taxes. They don't plan your exit strategy. They don't, not all of them. Some do, but it goes back to, like I said before, usually a creative brain works a little different than an analytical brain, or we use one side a little more than the other. So there are things that me being more analytical that I will see and know, and I could help a creative consider while preparing, and they take that strategy and let the accountant know this is what they want to do. Last tip when it comes to that, I always recommend to my business owners, pay the hourly fee or a flat fee or whatever to a tax attorney and find out what is legal, what is there anything in my thought process that is illegal?
Okay. Wait, give me a second. So you froze where it said what is legal?
So is there any, when you go to a tax attorney,
Okay.
review your whole strategy and find out, just make sure that there's nothing illegal. There's nothing, you're not doing anything outside of the tax code. And then you take that strategy and you tell your accountant, hey, this is what I'm doing, and I need you to file the taxes or whatever. That typically works better. And if you're not at that point yet, I know some of this may sound like a whole lot of money spending, but if you're not at that point yet, that's fine. But at least know that you need to have your own strategy. You need to have your own exit plan, and you tell other professionals such as myself, your accountant, your legal team, the people who work for you, you tell them what your strategy is, and we play our role in helping you live that out.
I love that. I love that. So I just want to ask you to give us 4 tips from what we discussed today that you feel is the most important. We already know exit strategy is one, but I want you to still give us just 4, and I'm not going to say tips, but 4 points that is so important of what we just discussed today.
Perfect. I most certainly will. The 4 things that you need to, if you don't remember anything else, I want you to walk away with. Number 1, you are a business. Think like a business, breathe like a business. Walk into the fact that you are more than just a creative. You're more than just a blogger, a painter, an author. You are an illustrator. You are a business, period. The second thing is understanding the importance, or putting things in place to record and track what you're doing. And that will go to the third point of having an exit strategy, because I get it. I feel like I want people to know that they're a business, but we've got to plan our own lives, business or otherwise. We have got to take control of our lives. And it amazes me how many people talk on social media and say how empowered they are, but they don't know how much they have in their savings account. They don't know when or if they can retire. They don't know, it's so many aspects about their life. You're supposed to be so enlightened and so empowered, and you don't know what your goals are. And the final thing will be to track and invest in yourself. Track what you're doing, track what's happening in your industry, and invest in yourself. Free 99 can only get you so far.
It sure can.
And things that you see on Google is usually just the surface tip of it. I can go to Google and Google how to do brain surgery, and I'm sure some steps will pop up. Should I perform it? Probably not.
No.
But so and I see people take their finances and they feel like, oh, I can do it myself. They take their business strategy, oh, I can do it myself, or I can leave. Track and invest in yourself. Track what is happening around you in your industry, and invest in yourself and your professional development.
I love that. I love that. I love that. So thank you so much, Quintaria, for this very first enlightening episode, because I've learned a lot. I know a lot thanks to you, and just also doing research myself. And always when you're sitting there looking on social media, take that time to look into your business, investing in yourself, even if you're just looking to find a strategist. Okay. Mm-hmm. So I just want to give Quintaria time to let us where we can find you.
I always suck at this part. My team is so much better. I am on Instagram and Facebook at Legacy by Quintaria. I think on Instagram it's legacy_by_Quintaria. I'm on LinkedIn at Quintaria Brunson. But if you and my website is The Brunson Approach. So Legacy by Quintaria, The Brunson Approach. You can Google either, and it will get you to me. And in terms of investing in yourself as well too, my team and I are compiling the Pin to Profit master class. So we'll have more information on that, and it'll be tiered so that you can get in where you fit in. If you're ready to just graze and kind of see like, let me see if this for me, we'll have something for you. If you're ready to jump in and like, hey, I'm rolling my sleeves up, I'm ready to tackle this and get my business in order, we have something for you as well. And if you're like, hey, I am truly just wanting to create, but I know that I need this in place, we have a white glove service that can handle that for you as well. But I'll get that information to you, Crystal, so that we can share it. And by the end of the series, they'll know exactly where they can get additional resources. And as always, you can go to theBrunsonApproach.com to get resources, because we have a lot of free resources and information, because our goal is to help entrepreneurs and empower entrepreneurs to build the legacy they desire so that their future generations are financially free and not financially frustrated.
I love it. I love it. So I thank you so much for this. Our next episode, we will be talking about entrepreneurial authorship, building your brand as a business. I'm big on the brand part. Like, I had someone assist me on preparing my brand, and I actually stick to it. And if I don't, she calling me, or she in my DMs like, what you doing? Fix it. So branding is very, very big. So I always say at the end, thank you for listening, and please check me out on Instagram at Books and Soul 1. Please be sure to follow the Get Caught Up Podcast on Instagram at Get Caught Up Podcast, and on Twitter at GCU_podcast. Our Facebook group is Get Caught Up Podcast, and on TikTok at Get Caught Up Author Podcast. If you would like to become a sponsor, please visit anchor.fm/Get Caught Up. Or if you'd like to give us a donation, you can send us a cash app at $U P 2016. You know what I forgot to say at the beginning of the episode? Happy Valentine's Day. You know, for these people out here that's in love, I'm in love, but not with no man or woman. I'm just in love with myself right now.
All about love. Yes. Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day. Okay, so until next time, bye.
Thank you for having me.
Mm-hmm.